site, you can take the test. You have to answer, I guess, approximately 100 questions. But whenever you do, take this test alone, because there are certain questions you might not be truthful while answering in front of others, what you actually feel, what kind of a person you actually are. And believe me, your personality does not change. So any personality, once you get the test is done, and then if you find out you are this advocate personality, that is INFJ personality, the A and T maybe. And then if you see here, your introduction is given, and then your strength and weaknesses is given. Sinha sir helped me out in this. As he already mentioned, I'm not going to take longer to explain why you need to know your strength and weaknesses while searching for your career aspects. So obviously you need to work on your weaknesses, but you should also know your strengths and use it likewise. Then there is career paths also that is given here, that'll help you with it. And once you explore the site, I'm sure you all are very tech friendly people. You'll be able to understand it pretty well. You'll also see certain famous people having that particular personality. So you'll be able to understand better which personality you are of, you belong to, and that is going to stick with you forever. You can change your habits, you can have different passions and all, but you can't change your personality. So if you're in a job, if you're somebody who is already working and if you're not satisfied with your job, probably that is because your personality is not in accordance with the job that you have selected. So please be very careful while choosing your job. Now we come on to the career advices that I have to deliver from my side. First one is this, you might have heard it from a lot of people, that find your passion. According to me, finding your passion is a myth. You cannot find your passion. It's not a possession that has been lost. You can't search under your bed or in your bedroom or in your living room instead of finding it eventually. You can't just sit back and expect yourself to one day discover your passion. You need to be exploring, and then once you are good at it, you need to improve your skills, and then only you know whether that particular thing is giving you that happiness or not. And that is how to be completely happy. You might be earning lakhs and lakhs of rupees, but it is of no use if you have to, utilize all of those in your medical treatments later on, or maybe the medical treatments of your family members, because you have been putting out all of the pressure in front of your family members, and then they have been suffering. Everyone has their own journey. So please find your passion. Then your career is not your whole life but a part of it. Please make sure to note this down, that your career is only going to be a part of it. Initially it all looks very beautiful to have a good pay. Everyone asks you what package have you received, but do you all check on people after 5 years? What kind of mental state are you in? If you're passionate about your job, you will eventually get there. If you're lucky, if you're blessed enough, if you're very hardworking, maybe you'll get it at the first go, but it actually takes time. And just don't go for something because it is paying you more, because eventually you understand that your career is not your whole life. You have to come back home, you have a family to feed, and you have your parents to take care of. So you can't take that pressure from your work life and put it on in everyone else's life like that. Now, whatever work you do, whatever work you are choosing, whichever career path you are choosing, please know that every work is about people. You need to deal with people. You need to be nice to people. You need to be respectful. Any job, trust me. Like as you all know, I'm teaching in St. Xavier's College, Ranchi. I don't expect my class to give me respect until and unless I pay respect to them. Respect is always earned, and it is a mutual thing. Any job is about people. You have to work with people. Even if you're an entrepreneur, if you're starting your business, you have to have people under you. You need to be more careful about your behavior. If you are any professional, you need to be working around people. So you need to know your strength and weaknesses. Working yourself and getting people to work are two very different skills. Unfortunately, in India, we don't look for such things. Why? Because if you're most of the students or most of the people that I have come across in my life have told me that currently they are preparing for so and so exam, and until they have that eligibility criteria, they fulfill the age for that particular exam. And after that, if it does not work for me, I will go into entrepreneurship. It is not how it works. Until and unless you know the work, how are you going to guide somebody else to do the work? You might have faced this in your life. If I'm asking you to direct somebody to do something, you will not be a good manager until unless you know the work well. So being an entrepreneur, according to me, is a greater job because you need to know how to work. Maybe you'll need to require, you need to go down to the base level and show it to them how it is done. So take note of that. Don't keep entrepreneurship as a backup plan. You need, even if it is a backup plan, you need to keep feeding that idea. You need to keep working on that idea. Prefer quality over quantity, but start with exploring various tasks. Obviously, quality work is appreciated more than you are doing 5 tasks and all undone is not appreciated. Rather than you complete 4 out of the 5 tasks given to you. But at this phase of your life, most of you are undergrad students, you need to explore various tasks and then only you'll find out which tasks are you good at and you can be best at one. So take that best, try to build your career in that best quality, your task or interest that you have, and you can keep some backup plans if you want to. If you ask me, I did not have a backup plan because I felt if I have a backup plan, I'll not pay full attention to the first goal that I have. But again, in the initial phase, I've already told you, I've been solving my maze. You have a different life, you have a different perspective. Find out your maze and then try to solve it. Action is greater than thought. Gone are those days, students, when we used to, when people used to say, I thought it first. I thought it first is a sign of failure. If you have not done it, you have not done it. Initiation is important. You can't just keep thinking. You might have 10 ideas in your head. And maybe if those 10 ideas are being executed by 10 different people, they are the ones getting credit, not you. So it's better to have one idea and doing it rather than having 500 ideas and doing nothing. The timing of every job is determined by the number of focused hours you put in it. This is not just for people you already are working, but for you students. It does not matter if you are studying for 5 hours. It matters how many hours did you actually studied, focused. There might be some students who study for just 5 hours. There are students who are studying for 10 hours. The ones who are studying for 5 hours might be enjoying the other 5 hours, partying, going out, whatever. But they can get better results because they have put in more focused hours than you do. Likewise, in job, the harsh reality, I don't know why, but India appreciates overworking, and that has made a lot of people to skip the actual working hours and then sitting back in office for late hours and then showing it to the world that the office closes down at this particular time, but I came back around 2 hours later. But that does not matter. What were you doing in those full 8 to 9 hours of work that you were there in the office? How many hours of focused work were you actually doing? Now, do you have years of experience or 1 year experience many times? These are two very different things. In your resume, you might be writing that I have been working in this company for 5 years. But in those 5 years, have you grown? Is there any other skills? Is there any other fields that you have learned, you have done. Your career graph should show. In your first year, you might be taking, for example, I'm giving example from my particular field. In the first semester that I was taking just one paper. And then the next semester, many more papers were added. Then in the second year of my job, I started taking PG classes, and then multitasking, then taking out students to educational trips. Obviously, the other workloads of a lecturer, setting up papers, correcting answer sheets, the exam duties, and all of those. Have you had experience in all the particular fields, or you just have one desk job and you're confined to your particular job? That cannot be done. Later on in life, it becomes, once you're senior, you're very specific with your job, and at that point of time you can say, this is not my job, you go to that table, or you go to that sir or ma'am, it is her uh, speciality. But in the early phases, you need to have experience of anything and everything related to your particular career. Now, career is a long term decision. This is something that I want to emphasize, especially to the youth, because we are the generation of use and we change our phones very quickly. We change everything and anything. We are easy and as discussed earlier, I've seen a lot of examples in my life, a lot of friends in my life who have changed their careers, who have taken up very jobs that pay much uh, little than what they were earning earlier, but they are more satisfied. They are at a better place, at a happy place. So please make sure that this career is a long-term decision. When you retire, right now you are probably a single person. Once you take up this career path, side by side, your personal life also grows. You might be getting married, you might have children, and probably by the time you retire, you might be grandparents. So it is a long-term decision. Choose it wisely. If you're not happy doing it, you can't be the best at it. You need to love your job. You can hate the corruption and the politics and all of those things going in and around your job, but once you are doing your particular job, you need to find peace, you need to find happiness in it. Otherwise, you'll never be the best at it. If I'm not convinced with the subject that I'm teaching, if I'm not happy, if I'm just going to teach because I have a family to feed, I'll never be able to be a good teacher. I need to be happy doing what I do. I need to be convinced. Then only I'll be able to be good at it. Then again, don't shy away from taking advices and reviews from various people to know the work culture at that particular job you are seeking. Don't just take up any job offer that is offered to you. Have the power to choose. Wait, have patience, don't be too quick. Whatever comes my way, I'll just take and go. No, you need to be assured what are you signing up for. If you're deciding to buy a car, if you're deciding to buy a phone, you do so much research. You go on to YouTube, you find review videos, then you go on to so many sites that compare those two particular gadgets that you have finalized, and then after a lot of uh, pros and cons that has worked around when you're career field, why don't you go to Google or YouTube and search for various fields? So these were my inputs and my sites that will help you, guide you through the overall process. The Leverage Edu site is something that is pretty good. They have premium services also. They help you with the visa and all also. So you can check it out, all of these in the Google. If you are applying for higher studies abroad, please look for scholarships. And I also have messages from a few of my friends already studying abroad or who have studied abroad. So you can take their suggestions as well. Now we go on to the various working professionals sharing their career advices and experiences. I'll start with he's my brother, Mr. Solomon Pratik Hansda. He's an entrepreneur and former country sales representative in SmartSolve. So according to him, business development as importer-exporter for B2B products. B2B is business to business products. You need to have adequate knowledge and understanding of every aspect of business, which may be gained gradually through experience. So these are the aspects in business. Any job in marketing, or probably any job, rotates around these four lines. That is the marketing, operations, finances, and resources. What he has to say about these is, in marketing, you need to identify the market requirements and presenting valuable proposition in a precise and professional manner, while directly getting in touch with the business owners or industrialists. In operations, the logistics, compliances, supply chain, quality check, and many more technical aspects are often handled on an ad hoc basis. Excuse me. Yes. Finances, you have to maintain a record of the investment, loans, and all of these things of the company. Resources is managing the employees, workers, vendors, partners, and all other people involved in providing support to your business. Then cross-functional approach to optimize and improve efficiency results in vibrant and holistic overview of business is also important. We go on to the next person, Mr. Pushpesh James Hemrom. He is a category manager at Bliss Club. It's a clothing brand. In today's changing world, there's something new in shopping, that is direct to customer, D2C, e-commerce startups, hiring people who want to shape the future of shopping. So as you can see here, I'm not reading down the whole slide. Basically, he's explained what D2C is. It's just basically what we all know about the sites, various shopping sites. It is direct to customer. There is no middleman, and directly the customers can buy the products. Now, what can you work on? Behind the scenes, there are a number of people who figure out what people like, and tech experts who make sure the websites run smoothly. So those who are in these fields can look for jobs here. In the world of D2C e-commerce, creativity is everywhere. This is where ideas come to life. So if you are interested, if you have any passion about it, if you want to go for further studies that require you to be eligible to such courses, you can go ahead and get yourself placed here. Now we go on to Miss Priyanka Raj. She's a manager in Deloitte in London. She's one of my childhood friends, and I'm very proud. She's not even reached 30, and she is working as the manager in Deloitte in the London office. So she consults clients in the public sector She consults the UK government to optimize their technology to ensure government's benefits and schemes are timely accessible to people in the UK and abroad. Previously, she worked in the Pamela Seal Associates Limited, in which she worked to ensure the medicines to patients in Africa. She provided solutions to the organizations and all of those. And recently, not recently, a few years back, she shifted to Deloitte and she's a manager there. She finished her MSc in Comparative Social Policy from Oxford University in 2017 with an emphasis on health policies, and did her undergraduate degree in planning in National Institute of Technology, Bhopal, in India in 2016, focusing on health planning. Her advice is to be open about new opportunities, to be honest to yourself about your strengths and weaknesses, and be flexible. Aim high and try with a good strategic plan, not mindlessly. Then be agile in your approach. Don't follow the herd and think of your own individual career case, and be entrepreneurial as it can take you a long way. Ensure you are technically solid, but don't undervalue the power of people's skills. Be kind and humble. We go on to the next person. She is Miss Ashashan Barla. She is a home baker based at Ranchi and owner of the company Gab About Cakes. She has a lot of things to share. By the way, the picture that is posted next to you is all edible. It is her creation. They are all cakes. The candles that you see, the gift box, anything and everything basically you see apart from the curtains and this green string, everything else is edible in this picture. So her journey is she's been an engineer. Then she went on to prepare for GATE, and then she has worked in HEC for a few years, and then in DRDO in Bangalore for a few years. And then she was looking for a job switch probably, and she was in Ranchi, and then some of her friends ordered wedding cakes from her, and she thought, why not take it as a full-time job? These are all her creations. So this is a story. You can read it on later on also. It will be probably uploaded in YouTube. So you can pause and read her story, how she managed to get into this. What needs to be, what is important for you is this, that there's a difference between a normal baker and a cake artist. A lot of my students also are bakers, but if you want to be cake artists, there's a difference there, because cake artists must also have the knowledge about baking, painting, sculpturing, photography, architecture, etc. And they need to be upgrading themselves with the new trends. Now, this is what she has to say. Again, few of her beautiful creations. And what she has to say is this is not a normal 9-to-6 job, but it takes sweat and blood to work as an entrepreneur. This is risky, and I'm ready to take the risk just because this is my passion. I feel unless and until you have the passion towards something, it is worthless to invest in it. You may feel the need for it once, but when you see the workload, you get to know the actual thing about it. So unless you have the love for the work, it will always feel like a burden to you, like a job to you, which you were told to do because you needed it. So please you can create your own job using your passion, but be sure it's not as easy. If you love painting, doesn't mean you'll be happy doing it to earning from it, because that time you'll have to take orders, you'll have to deal with the customers. There are many ups and downs that you have to take care of. Another friend of mine, Ms. Smriti Rufina Tirki, who is an assistant manager HR in the Aditya Birla Group. This is what her experience is. She studied BSc in chemistry from St. Xavier's College, Ranchi only, and then she did her PG MBA from XISS. She was selected for both human resource and finance, but she selected HR. And in the campus placement, she was selected for the company that she's working in right now, that is mining business of Aditya Birla Group as assistant manager, HR. So she's very happy with her decisions, and what is good about her job according to her is that she gets to collaborate with people in different companies with mining business, which has definitely contributed in expanding my knowledge in the field and develop my professional and interpersonal skills. Another friend and a relative, Ms. Archana Kujur. She's PO in Bank of India. If you can see her qualifications, she has done her BSc in zoology from DU, then MSc in microbiology from St. Joseph's University, Bangalore, and then work experience, if you count. She has done some dissertation work in JNU, and she was working in Accenture for 6 months in Bangalore as data analytics. And currently she is working as PO in Bank of India for the past 3 years. What she has to say is, looking at my biodata, one may observe that it is completely out of sync as one compared to my academic background. But one should not restrict their boundaries in terms of job profiles. Also, what she has to say is that you need to balance it with your personal life and for your hobbies and interest. So just because you have done certain course, you need not work in that particular field only. It might feel like a wastage then, or it might look like she could have gone for it just by uh, doing BSc or something. But as I say, you might have taken the longer path, but you have better experience. You have your personality that stands out. And then even when you achieve something, never stop trying to improve each day for growth in your mother institution. She has been my student when I started working in St. Xavier's Ranchi. She is one of my students from the first batch, and currently she's working as an assistant professor in Kerala. This is what she has to say. Long story short, I'll try to focus that she wants to emphasize that students should go for higher studies at a strict B.Ed or PhD or MBA, whatever you want, so that you get better job opportunities. She has to say that another option is to go abroad and do MBA, as there it is just a 1-year course, and you get to stay back and get job opportunities in other countries also. Moreover, scholarships are offered by most countries that make it affordable. Please remember that corporates do give high salaries, but the rise of recession and work pressure would always be there. So whatever path you select, please be assured there's no perfect career, there's no perfect path. Every career, every line will have pros and cons. Know the pros and cons, know your weaknesses and strength, and if that suits you, then only go for it. Here, there is Mrs. Ramya Ann Jose. She's a senior manager and head of talent management at V-Guard Industries Limited. She has been a former deputy manager personnel at Coal India Limited. She is one of the greatest people, according to me, to give advices, because she has worked in a public sector as well as private sector. So this is what she has to say about the pros and cons of a public sector. She says the pros of a public sector are that you get equal pay for all in the same level, that is pay parity is there. More employee benefits like child care leave, medical expenses coverage for self and family, etc. is given. Higher level of job security is there in public sector. The cons are slower decision making and more documentation required for work, slower promotions, office politics and work culture problems, which can be there in private sectors as well. Office politics is something that is very institute or company specific. So you need to know which companies have office politics, which does not, and that is only by the reviews of the employees or the ex-employees working there. The other cons are burnout and no flexible work timings or hybrid work options to work. In private sector, if you see, the pros are that there is hybrid nature of work. That is, you can also avail the work from home options. It is generally better work culture, then the better pay recognition and growth for high performers is there. Learning and growth opportunities higher, easier to shift job laterally. The cons are degree of job stability can vary in different private companies. The pay parity issues may exist. An extra benefit like fully paid child care leave, etc., is not available. So when you are going through different phases of your life, you might find it difficult to stick to these private sectors. Now, the company that she's working on currently, she has given me the eligibility criteria. Most of my target groups have not done any technical courses. So I've just highlighted in red the ones that you can go for. You can, if you want to join the finance team, you can go for CA or MBA if you want to join the HR team, MBA in various fields, and then qualifications from various design institutes in if you want to get into product designing. This is one of my friends again, Miss Anvisha Manral. She's a student in Erasmus University, Netherlands. This is what she has to say. I met her in while I was a student in Mumbai, and she was studying in Xavier Institute of Communication, XIC. So this is what she has to say about if you want to get admissions into XIC Mumbai. So mainly she's saying that you need to be very determined about your path. You need to have good command of the language, and then you need to keep reading about the documents that are relevant to your field and be answerable to why you are pursuing that field or why do you want to take admission into that field. For the interview, she remembers having a mock interview with the family wherein she made sure to demonstrate the passion for the field as well as the aptitude for journalistic skills. I think it's extremely important to demonstrate a balance of both. Eligibility when she took admission in 2016 was that anyone can appear for the entrance exam. There was no barrier as such. It might have changed now. You can search in the official site. Now, to get admission into the university in Netherlands, she says that there's a lot of things that you can read, and what exactly needs to be said or underlined is that just don't go searching for universities abroad to tell the society that you are studying abroad. You need to go for good universities that give you the courses that you are looking for. Just don't go to the best university and compromise on your stream. If you're like for me, if I'm saying, a lot of people had told me to join, to apply for JNU. I looked up for the site, but they did not have botany. So if JNU it had life sciences, and maybe it would have been, and people told me it'll be easier for you to clear NET likewise and all. But I had my different career path. Maybe there are people who have done that and at a very better position, very great position. But for me, I wanted to take botany and this specialization, taxonomy, which was not available there or anywhere else. So I chose the top college for that. So be very specific about your career path. So that is what she also has to emphasize here. The eligibility is that is, you need to have 3 or 4 years of bachelor's degree related to the particular field, and passion or experience in the field of study is eligible. Candidates do not have to be from a strictly social science background, which ensures diversity of thought. So abroad, the NEP system is something that we have applied from there only. If you want, you can take up whichever path you want. The eligibility is not very strict there. So the useful advice, one of the very useful advice that she gave is start the application process as soon as possible. Students in the 6th semester usually rest and wait for the results to come out. And once they get the degree in hand, they realize most of the forms. Most of the interviews have already been done, and some of them have already started their classes, and it's too late for you to apply. So please be assured what you want to do next. Have a plan in hand. Another friend of mine, Miss Anupriya Sanga, who is a magistrate. What are her views is to become a magistrate, one has to be a law graduate, 3 to 5 years, along with being enrolled in the district bar to be eligible to appear in the exam of civil judge. Now, the job satisfaction I asked her about, and this is what she answered: that this job gives you the power of a gazetted officer, and needless to say, the chair which one holds in the courtroom, people look up to for justice. So this job is not just a profession; it's a service to mankind, unbiased and respective of their caste, creed, and status. Again, as I said, there is no age to start up the journey. This is one of my friend's father, Mr. Rajesh Kumar Srivastava. He's an entrepreneur. This is his story. He's a businessman who was always fascinated with agriculture. He co-founded an organic farming company named Only Zavik in June 2020, that is in the COVID phase. He began cultivation of exotic vegetables, and his works were printed in the newspapers as well, that exotic vegetables have been growing in Jharkhand. And then scientists from BAU, Birsa Agriculture Universities, are also visiting their farms. He has received many recognitions and awards in such short time. So you can start whenever you want. And last but not the least, some advices from, she's my mother, Mrs. Tripti Parag Shaw. She retired as GM Personnel from Coal India Limited. He wants to say it is very important to believe in yourself and to know your strength and weaknesses. See, these points have been repeated back to back, students, so you need to take emphasis on that. In fact, I would suggest you to make a note of your weaknesses more so that others can't use it against you, but you can improvise on that, or at least you know about it. One of my professors used to tell me that you should always know what you don't know. So now, again, before you decide which job or career you want to take, focus on your strength and try to work and improve on your weaknesses. Set your priorities right once you know your goal and objectives. Be true to yourself and upgrade your knowledge and skills every day. Be updated. Honesty and integrity have no substitute. Make it an integral part of your dreams and always stick to that, no matter how adverse the situation is, and you'll certainly come out a winner and shine in your efforts. Don't succumb to temptations and learn to say no. This is one of the teachings she has already been giving us since we were kids, that learn to say no to things. Now, go that extra mile to achieve your goal when you have set your priorities right. Take the challenges as opportunities and you'll climb the ladder of success gradually. There is no shortcut to success, so aim high and be updated in your skills, knowledge, and keep learning from your mistakes. There should be clarity of mind in what you intend to do. Decision making is very important, which is not possible if there is no clarity. So this is all that I had from my side. Thank you. If there are any questions, I'm willing to answer it now.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, I would request everyone to please, if you have any questions, you can ask.
Okay, I'll leave my email address with the organizers. If you have any questions related to my field or any of the fields that I have discussed, you are free to put them up. I'll answer it there, or else you know where to find me in the Department of Botany, St. Xavier's College. You are free to come and discuss any further topics. Thank you.
So meanwhile, we receive questions. Ma'am, I have one question that I want to ask you. How to avoid the most common mistake and what are the most common mistakes that people commit while choosing their careers?
Most common mistake. See, there is no common mistake. It is very specific from for each individual. But what I see, as I already told you, students usually run after the package. Everyone is concerned about the salary pay in initially, but um, I've also not reached my 30s, and trust me, many people who chose high salary jobs very happy in the initial days, but then they left those jobs and are happily working. Some of them are happily working as entrepreneur, finding their passion, or maybe working as school teachers, because initially you run for high pay jobs, but then that takes up a toll on you. You have to live separately from your family. You just don't have a career to support. You need to find cook, you need to pay rent, you need to pay electricity, and all of those. So please don't rush into taking decisions. Sit back, let the opportunities come, and then decide, can you do it till you are 60? If you can't, you'll not be good at it. That is the most common mistake that youngsters do. And how to avoid it is, again, take the personality tests, know about your strengths and weaknesses, talk to people, talk to anyone and everyone. Maybe some certain field you don't want to go. Just talk it out. Their experiences will help you learn something or the other.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, I have one more questions to ask you. How to manage our college studies and career goals? I mean, parallelly.
Again, that is a question very specific to people. I understand for especially the students who are currently there. As a student, when I was a student in my BSc days, we had the different syllabus, and it wasn't as much. You have more papers, but they have pros and cons side by side. So you learn more skills. So in that way, you are exposed to more fields. We were exposed to little but quality over quantity kind of a thing. But in the early phases, it's good that you're exposed to various fields. So then you have a lot of options to choose from. How to handle it is, again, you need to, as the one I emphasize, you need to say no. If you don't have a family that supports you, if your family does not understand, you have to attend birthday parties and all of the weddings and all of the anniversaries, you need to say no. If needed, probably you need to fight with your parents at some places in order to explain your point of view. Fight is not like fighting, basically, putting up your points and discussing. I was blessed to have such a family that was allowed, and I did so. We had differences of course, especially if you ask me. So I had this plan in my mind that where I want to go for MSc. But once I completed my BSc and I shared this plan with my uh, parents, this happened so that they were not convinced that I want to go there for my further studies. Probably they thought I'm just going there to get to experience how Mumbai is. So you need to explain, and it is your duty. So if you think of two things first, if you are willing to learn, once you achieve something, do you want people to tell you, I'm so proud of you, whatever you have done on your own? If yes, then be ready to take up the adversities also, take up the blame also. So once you realize that the blame is also on me, you will find out the correct way. How to manage it side by side is difficult, but prepare a routine. This is what I used to do. Prepare a routine every day. Maybe if you're in your final semester, take out any time in the night or in the evening, just half an hour, where you sit and you think about your possible careers where you'll be satisfied. Just think, maybe 15 minutes, but every day give those 15 minutes to yourself and you'll find out a way.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we have a question from Roshni Topo. It's a very large question, so I will read it quickly. She has completed her graduation in botany and has developed her interest in digital marketing and has also joined a digital marketing agency as a content developer. She is currently interested in tech and presently learning some skills like Java and web development. Now she is uncertain about the specialization she should pursue in MBA, which are digital marketing, business analytics, or IT management. So, ma'am, please guide her. Guide.
Okay, thank you for the question, Roshni. I see you have done your graduation in botany, but then later on you had different interests. Now, the question basically is, how do you combine digital marketing, business analytics, or IT management together? So again, I would take some time to answer this. This is not my field. I'll go back to the ones that have done MBA, the people I've shown it to in your slide, and I'll come back to you. I'll leave my email address with you, and I'll come back and answer it to you. Please take her number or anywhere the organizers. Please make sure that I can get back to her later on.
Guys, please ask questions. If you have any doubt and queries, you can ask, or you can also put them in the chat box. We will wait for 1 minute, else we will move on. Yes, Letty, please continue.
Thank you for that opportunity. I hope I'm audible. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. For example, my passion is in acting, theater, and arts. However, in my country, that is not a prominent
I'm not able to hear you properly. If possible, could you please write down the question in the chat box? Participants, I remind you again, I am an lecturer. I teach in St. Xavier's College, Ranchi, in the Department of Botany. So if there are any questions related to your further studies, if you're aspiring to become a professor, or how to clear NET, how to get into this, or any general questions like Utkarsh had, you can put forward other questions related to any field, be it MBA, fashion designing, technical, baking. You can put it up. I'll go to the professionals and give you the correct answers about it.
So meanwhile, people ask questions. So I feel honored to tell you about that Braj Kishore Sinha sir have successfully completed his 38 years of experience in teaching, and this is a lot. This is a lot of experience. So, sir, my question to you is, how important is networking in successing your career? Sir, I apologize. Your mic is muted.
Okay, thank you. As Madam Jessica was saying, networking is very, very important. If you develop network, your knowledge will enhance also. In your field even, I was having my field of specialization that was soil biology. And was a soil entomology actually. So I expanded that one. And I had interaction with the people in Canada, people in Helsinki, people in Australia, Brisbane, and all that. So networking is very important to improve yourself, because what they are doing in your field, you will be able to know. Because in isolation, research is never in isolation. I have been basically a teacher come researcher. So research was more focused. So the thing was how to improve yourself. Because you see, at our time, we don't have this type of networking and all that, this social media and internet and all that. We were not having. We were having the only opportunity that was these seminars and conferences. So we used to go very frequently to these seminars and symposiums. And through that one, we develop the network. This is one thing. The another important thing is that you must contribute to your society, specific society. You select of your field and contribute to that one. You will find many of the people over there who can give you good things. So knowledge is exchangeable. So one has to exchange the knowledge, and that grows actually. So you develop wisdom also ultimately. So networking is very important, and nowadays it is very easy to develop network through this internet. Earlier, we can't think of it. We will be sitting on this in a webinar and discuss things. And Jessica has presented in such a good way how the career counseling. It was very nice. So these are the things that we can have, which was not earlier possible. And that's why I was telling in the very beginning itself that the students will have to think of how to utilize all these things, the Internet of Things, the artificial intelligence. They cannot keep themselves in isolation. They'll have to make interaction, relations, and all that. So networking is a very important thing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. That's a very true point. So we have got a question from Nettie. Her question is, how do I manage my passions and my needs? Her passions is acting, theatre and film. However, that is not a prominent industry in her country. The survival in that industry financially can be difficult. So in such a situation, how do she choose between her passion, strengths and needs?
Okay. Your needs, your passion is in acting, that I get it. Needs, can you elaborate? What do you mean by your needs? Is it your personal life or the financial help that you require right now?
Okay, by needs, I mean like the financial backup to see that everybody needs to be financially stable, to be financially upright, so that we
Yes.
can provide for ourselves, for our lives. So yeah, those are the needs that I'm talking about.
Okay. So see, what I have an answer for you, and as I already told, I had discussed one of the bakers, home baker, in my presentation. Then I have another few people. Like when we were pursuing my MSc, there were this one of my classmates. I had also asked her to give the presentation, but probably she did not find time. So she is also a full-time. She loved cooking and all, and she has started her own restaurant at her hometown. So I guess the particular problem why what you are facing is that you're not giving your 100% because you're too scared whether I'll be successful or not. If you're doing that, then you're not justifying. Yes, your path is not easy, but any path. In fact, you have written down, right? In India, somewhere you written down. It's a different path. It's not a prominent industry in our country. Believe me, there is nothing prominent in this country. Everyone, you might be very passionate, but you might not get what you should or what you could have achieved. Don't focus on that only. If you have financial needs and all, you can look for some other backup plans, or else maybe you're aiming too high. Whatever you are getting, whichever place you are getting to act, you can go. How good are you? Are you working on your skills every day, or are you just worrying about your financial status? That also is a very good point, because I've had so many people our age. Not if you don't start early. If you start early and at a very basic pay, like for example, I started working when I was 23. So at the place where I am right now, if my friends ask that they want to jump into this phase, it'll be difficult, because whenever you plan to start, you start with the very base. So if you're worried about starting so much, you are basically delaying the process. So just go into it, believe in yourself first, then only the world will believe in you. So please go wholeheartedly into it. Take advices from people who are already in that particular field, and how to get into other. There is a lot of financial problems. You can seek out for other job opportunities or a small term business plan, or not a business altogether, but little things that you can do to achieve that. And be confident. I am very confident you are a good actor, but if you are not confident, then nobody else will ever be.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very
Liti, I hope it's clear. So we have another questions from Rosni. What is your input about the LinkedIn platform as networking is key to growth?
Okay, yes, Roshni, that's a good question. LinkedIn platform is a very good platform. In fact, if you are studying in good colleges, they help you build up this platform where you connect with, you can get jobs, you can apply for jobs, you can be in touch with people from your particular field. It helps you to grow a lot. But necessity, if you're asking me, it's not necessary. You can have networking in your Facebook and Instagram also. It's basically is how passionate are you. And many jobs these days, they don't only look for your interview or your resume, they check out your social accounts as well. That shows how many what interests you, yeah, what kind of person or a personality you are. So networking is important, but achieving that, as Sir said, we are a very blessed generation. We have so many webinars, conferences, and so many things. In fact, most of you are in the same college that I go to every day, but you might have never seen me. I might have never seen you. But it is such platforms that bring us together. And networking is that easy. So obviously, LinkedIn is a great platform, but that is not the only platform for you right now. It is a very professional platform, and if you learn early, it is 100% beneficial for you. Thank you. Utkarsh, your mic is muted.
Thank you, ma'am. So if anybody have any other questions, you can ask. We will take 1 minute for that, and else we will move on. Ria is asking to please share the link of the website for personality test.
You should take it up.
Utkarsh, I would like to leave because I have got one more engagement, isn't it?
Okay, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for being with us. It really means a lot. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you to all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So I see that everybody is clear with their queries and questions, and with the wonderful presentation that ma'am gave. Thank you, ma'am, for taking us your time and being with us today. It really means a lot. So I would request Shubhra to give a vote of thanks to these very inspiring peoples present over here.
Thank you, Utkarsh. On behalf of the Rotary Club and Imperial Club of St. Xavier's College, Ranchi, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to each and every one of you for joining us today for this insightful and informative online webinar for career counseling. First and foremost, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to our esteemed guest of honor, Dr. B.K. Sinha sir, and guest speaker, Jessica ma'am. Thank you for sharing your time, knowledge, and expertise with us today. Your presentation was incredibly informative, and I'm certain that our attendees gained valuable insights into the world of career counseling and guidance. I would also like to extend our thanks to our organizing committee for their hard work and dedication in putting together this successful webinar. Additionally, I would like to express our gratitude to all those participants who actively engaged in today's webinar. Your thoughtful questions and active participation enriched the experience for all of us. In conclusion, let us continue to strive for excellence, empower our students with fruitful career counseling, and make a positive impact on their future. I hope the knowledge gained today will serve as a stepping stone towards achieving your goals. Thank you once again for your participation and support. We hope to see you at our future events. Have a wonderful week ahead. Thank you.
Thanks, Subra. Thank you so much, ma'am, once again. We hope to see you in the next webinar.
Okay, thank you so much. I've given a feedback form. Before you leave, could you please give me your suggestions and then leave? Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. So everybody, please give the feedback form, so your suggestions and feedback. So I think now we have reached our time to end this session. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, ma'am.